Hey everybody, I wanted to quickly talk about privilege, just for a second. Specifically privilege in the disability community. Like with any other community, there's part of the disability community who don't have as much privilege as other people. And that can be due to the circumstances, and that logistic, that financial, that accessibility, that ability to be able to assert themselves. And I'm gonna say this bluntly, and it's gonna sound really bad, but unfortunately it's true. Some people are not given the autonomy that they need to feel comfortable speaking out. Some people with disability, some people in general, but specifically for this video, some people with disability. And so they aren't afforded that opportunity to, have a YouTube channel, to speak their mind, to do any of these kinds of advocacy things. And that's why it's really important in the disability community that we lift each other up, that we amplify each other's voices. And unfortunately, in the disability community, there is also a hierarchy. There are people with, I do not like the word complex, so I'm not going to use the word complex. There are people with, there are some people who need more support than other people. And that's not a bad thing. But unfortunately, sometimes the people that don't need as much support, that are, as the common term is, not that I like this term, but the higher functioning people tend to steal the megaphone away from the lower functioning people. And so we lose the voices of those people. And we only hear the voices of the people that are louder, that have access, that have resources, that are able to pick up a microphone and say what they want to say. And so what I've always tried to do with this channel, and what I encourage other disability rights advocates with privilege to do, is amplify those voices. Lift those people up that don't have a voice, and help them feel heard, help them feel seen. Having privilege doesn't have to be a bad thing. Having privilege and being able to speak your mind or say what you want and not be discriminated against or hated for saying something, that doesn't have to be a bad thing. It can be if you choose to not use it correctly. It can be if you abuse your privilege. But if you use your privilege to lift other people up, privilege is not a bad thing. Having privilege is not a bad thing. But you also have to make sure that when you're using that privilege, you are not, number one, you are doing it for the right reason. If you are doing it for your own agenda, that is not okay. That's not being an advocate. That's not being an ally. If you hear from the disability community and then go and grab a microphone and say, oh, well, these people, they want to do things this way, but I actually think they should do things this way. That's not amplifying their voices. That's shitting on the community. That is shitting on the very people that you claim to want to help. And yeah, to me personally, it's even worse when it is disability advocates that are doing this, because you are part of this community. I understand internalized ableism, because I used to have internalized ableism, but you are, in fact, part of this community. You are not separate from this community. You are not better than anybody in this community. You are part of this community. And if you're going to pick up a microphone and talk about other people in this community and the views and the perspectives of those people, you cannot shit on them. You cannot say, oh, well, I don't agree with it, and this is how it is, especially when you have a following. Because people with disabilities are oppressed enough. We already have people thinking that we're dumb and stupid, and that we don't know what we're doing, and that our opinions don't matter. We already have people in society that are doing that. Don't be an echo chamber for those people. Don't do that. Please. I can't tell other content creators how to do things. It's not who I am, and but if you are a content creator and you claim that you're an advocate or an ally for people with disabilities, especially if you are part of this community, if you identify as having a disability, please, please, please use your privilege for good. I'm going to use what is probably a really bad example. I made a video a while back where I talked about politics, and I talked about how we need more people with disabilities in politics. And I used the example of a person that loves pen, and a politician that comes forward and says, you know what, I love pen too, and it encourages that person to vote for the person that loves pen. Now, I want you to imagine that there's an advocate in the pen-loving community, okay? There's an advocate in the pen-loving community. And this advocate hears from other people that love pen that orange is their favorite color pen. And that advocate gets on YouTube, gets on TikTok, and says orange pens are awful. We need to get rid of orange pens. Orange pens are just the worst, and I don't understand why people in the pen community like orange pens. What do you think that's gonna do to the, let's say, thousands of other people in the pen-loving community that love orange pen? Do you think they're gonna feel heard? Do you think they're gonna feel seen? No. And that's true for any other group. Just because you disagree with something, it's okay to disagree. It's fine to disagree. It's good to disagree. But you have to do it in such a way that you are not shutting down the opinions of other people in that community. Again, take pens out of the equation. Put disability. Just imagine if, and again, I want to preface this as just an example. I'm not saying this in any way, shape, or form. But imagine if I got on camera and said, we should have institutions. Nobody else in the disability community wants institutions, but I think we should have institutions. I'm not amplifying anybody's voice. I'm only amplifying my opinion. I'm saying that to say I have 1,000 subscribers. I'm saying that to 1,000 subscribers. Even saying that to 1 subscriber is bad. Because that 1 subscriber is going to go to their friend and say, hey, this disability advocate said this. This person said this. How this must be how everybody else in that community feels. That's not what you want. And I hope that most people are not doing that intentionally. And I hope that this video encourages you to change course. Because all you're gonna do is alienate yourself from the community that you are part of, or that you claim that you're an ally for. If you build your platform on, this is my opinion of how things should go, and everybody else in my community doesn't have a clue, you're gonna be ostracized. And that's not what anybody wants. So, anyway, I've said my piece. Privilege is good as long as you use it correctly. Just make sure that the way you're doing it is good, and that if you are giving your opinion, you're stating, this is my opinion. This is not the opinion of most people in this community. This is solely my opinion. And if you're an advocacy channel and you want to be an advocate, if you want to amplify the voices of people with disabilities, do it correctly. Please. I am begging you. We have enough problems in the disability community. Let's not make this another one. Please. Thank you.